After an exhausting match, he sits breathlessly, clutching a photo of two smiling children. The sterile quiet of the locker room is broken by approaching footsteps. Given no time to recover, he's reminded that Livestock have no right to refuse, not even when summoned by a visitor. Toru is frozen in place as he sees his guest, a graceful woman with a gentle smile that stirs childhood memories. Her face matches the girl in the photograph he's held onto for so long. Shock and emotion swirl within him as he realizes that the little girl he once knew now stands before him, all grown up. Her gentle smile and sudden arrival stir unresolved emotions within Toru. Something in his heart trembles, a mix of shock, confusion, and feelings left unspoken for far too long. In the quiet of morning, a little girl slept soundly beneath a warm blanket in a modest home. The air was still, broken only by the sound of small footsteps approaching. Her face was peaceful, as if she still lived in a world untouched by harsh truths. This was a flashback, a fleeting memory of warmth, soon to collide with the coldness of reality. A cheerful woman bursts into the room, excitedly holding a new outfit she wants the sleepy little girl to wear. Though groggy and reluctant, the girl is gently urged to try it on. What appears to be a warm morning gesture carries a subtle weight, an unnatural pressure placed on a child not yet fully awake from her dreams. The little girl stands before the mirror in a new dress, praised enthusiastically by the woman beside her. But beneath the compliments, an innocent question escapes the child's lips, one that reveals a growing confusion about her own identity. Her vacant gaze hints at the deep-rooted uncertainty seeded within her from an early age. Kuroa still asked her innocent question to her mother. While lost in thought inside the house, Kuroa suddenly spots Toru waving from afar. Bursting with excitement, she runs outside, dashes down the stairs, and climbs the wall with determination just to reach her dear friend. Her actions reflect how much Toru's presence means to her. Kuroa cheerfully jumps down from the fence, warmly greeted by Toru who had been waiting. Even in a dress, she's eager to play tag with him. Their laughter echoes as they run together, cherishing a moment of freedom in a world that restricts them. After playing with Toru, Kuroa returns home only to be scolded by her mother for getting her dress dirty. Instead of showing understanding, the mother lashes out in frustration and punishes Kuroa emotionally. The child silently lowers her head in sadness as her mother storms off, leaving her without dinner or the cake that had been prepared. In a fit of rage, the mother crushes the cake meant for Kuroa, overwhelmed by frustration and sorrow. Meanwhile, Kuroa sits curled up on the floor, hiding her face in her knees, burdened by guilt and sadness. Deep down, the mother still sees her child as sweet, but is tormented by the pain of Kuroa not fitting the mold of what she believes an ordinary girl should be. Kuroa wakes up feeling hungry and anxious, wondering if her mother is still upset. As she peeks outside her room, she overhears a conversation between her mother and her father about her getting dirty while playing. Her father's return brings a brief moment of warmth amid her lingering guilt and worry. Kuroa accidentally overhears her parents arguing. Her father expresses concern about how they're raising her, while her mother feels accused and emotionally shaken. Kuroa begins to realize that something about herself is seen as wrong by the adults around her, even if she doesn't fully understand what it means. Kuroa overhears a secret conversation between her parents. Her mother seems overwhelmed, while her father gently tries to comfort her. But their discussion leads to something that leaves Kuroa confused and troubled, about her body changing soon, and her mother's disturbing intent to limit her growth to preserve an image. Kuroa starts to question what it all truly means. That night, Kuroa lay in bed overwhelmed by fear and confusion. She began to question her own identity after hearing that she might not truly be a girl. The thought of her body changing and no longer being able to wear skirts terrified her. Memories of laughing with her mother as a child now felt like pressure to remain someone she wasn't truly meant to be. The next day, Kuroa woke up to find that noon had already passed. Her father greeted her gently and explained that her mother had gone to the hospital earlier that morning. Still consumed by confusion and worry, Kuroa quietly wondered if her mother was ill. Though asked to get ready before her mother's return, her anxious expression remained unchanged. Kuroa beamed with joy as she twirled around in her new dress adorned with red roses and a tulle ribbon. Her father watched her with a proud, gentle smile, clearly comforted by her happiness. As the door opened, Kuroa lit up, thinking her mother had returned, and rushed forward, eager for the warm reunion she had been longing for. Kuroa rushed to welcome her mother home with joy, proudly showing off her new dress and promising to behave like a proper girl. But the mood shifted as her mother, calm yet serious, revealed she had important news from the hospital, immediately catching the father's attention with concern. Joy fills the room as the mother announces she's 2 months pregnant. The father is thrilled, and Kuroa bursts with excitement at the idea of becoming a big sister. For a brief moment, hope and happiness embrace the little family, unaware of what the future may hold. Kuroa's joy at her mother's pregnancy announcement is shattered when her mother coldly refers to her as livestock. She's reduced to nothing more than a pet raised during a time of infertility. Her father reacts in disbelief, questioning the cruel words, while Kuroa stands frozen, stunned by the emotional blow. Kuroa's mother voices her fear about keeping Kuroa in the house, especially if her unborn child turns out to be a girl. She even suggests castration, clearly dehumanizing Kuroa and framing him as a threat. Kuroa's father, overwhelmed and ashamed, apologizes. Meanwhile, Kuroa is confused and distressed, not understanding the meaning behind the cruel words she just heard. Kuroa struggles to understand why she is being treated like an animal, wondering if it's because she failed to act girly or got her dress dirty. Her mother coldly clarifies that Kuroa and her biological parents are merely the livestock, creatures with human DNA but no rights. To her, Kuroa is not a person, but a being devoid of humanity, born from a system designed to devalue life. Kuroa desperately begs not to be abandoned, pleading that she can act properly as a girl. But her mother remains resolute, seeing Kuroa as a mistake, nothing more than an animal raised to fill a void. Her father weeps in guilt as shelter authorities arrive to take Kuroa away, labeled as livestock. To them, giving her up is a painful but necessary sacrifice for the sake of their unborn child. With a cold expression, the mother insists it's better to hand Kuroa over quickly, hoping it'll help her find a new owner more easily. Shelter agents arrive, and without hesitation, begin pulling Kuroa away. Lost and terrified, Kuroa doesn't recognize them, while her mother, unmoved, claims this is all for Kuroa's own good. Kuroa screams and resists, desperately pulling back as unfamiliar hands drag her away. Crying, she calls out to her mother and father, begging not to be taken. Her father breaks down in helpless tears while the mother remains cold and expressionless. Through sobs and fear, Kuroa pleads to stay, promising to be a good girl, just to remain with her mother. With a blank expression and a polite bow, the mother formally hands over full responsibility to the authorities, as if her role is complete. Kuroa's wide eyes freeze in disbelief, her expression stiffened in shock. Her small wrists are now bound in handcuffs, a cruel sign that she is no longer seen as a child, but as a possession being taken away. As the shelter worker stands at the door, the mother calmly signs the relinquishment papers. Kuroa remains motionless, her voice barely audible as she whispers, "Mommy." As she's led away, she looks back one final time, tears streaming down her face. With a trembling, hopeful smile, she speaks a final declaration of love, one destined to remain unanswered. In her final memory, Kuroa recalls her mother's warm embrace and the words "Mommy loves you too." But that warmth is gone now, replaced by the cold finality of a door closing behind smiling parents. As she is led away under the clear sky, her small feet shuffle forward. Deep inside, a fragile hope forms: if she can become an ordinary girl, surely they'll come back for her.